I'm Katie Hayes and I'm Head of Marketing at Ozone API. So when you think about B2C versus B2B marketing, I think many of the same principles apply for marketing. But when you think about B2B marketing in the fintech space, I think there are definitely some considerations to take into account. For instance, at Ozone API, we know that the sales pipeline or the life cycle is quite long. So we need to factor that in terms of our brand building efforts. We need to start with brand awareness, then go into consideration, and then pull different levers leading up to a conversation with our sales team and then converting into potentially becoming a customer or hopefully turning into a customer or client. Open banking and open finance is really, really exciting. It is taking off around the world, and it's really interesting to see how the market maturity is happening across the world. We're obviously very involved in the UK and Europe, in the MENA region, in LATAM, looking towards Australia. And with my accent as a South African, I'm also keeping a very close eye on what's happening in Africa. And I think that's going to be really exciting. That's coming next in our growth strategy as well. Something that we're about to experiment with is influencer marketing and looking at micro influencers who are very niche experts in our field. We are launching a Global Voices campaign in relation to our global open data tracker. And we've spoken to experts around the world, getting their wisdom, their thought leadership on the topic and bringing that into the marketing space. So we are really excited to see how that works, how we can tap into their reach, support what we're doing, and hopefully continue to build our brand. Within the senior management team at Ozone API, we have always been very collaborative when it comes to creating an inclusive company culture. We needed someone to put up their hand to take accountability and kind of lead the strategy and make sure that we are maintaining the momentum of introducing different elements to improve our company culture, and I raised my hand. So this year in particular, we've done a huge amount. We've introduced a new onboarding process, including an onboarding boot camp. We've introduced a buddy system. Because we are a remote first team, it really helps partnering up new starters with people in their region or in their department, and just having those informal water cooler moments while having catch-ups online works really well. We've also introduced a monthly knowledge sharing session, which has been running for the past year or so, where anyone at any level at Ozone API can put themselves forward to present on any topic. So, for instance, we've had an intern talk about how to put together a business plan. We have our local AI ChatGPT expert going to be running a session next month. So it could be anything. We've had Robin, our marketing manager, run an employee brand advocacy presentation. So it's a great way to learn, to also showcase our knowledge. And then what we do then is follow up with a informal team catch up using breakout rooms, which works really well. Something else that we're looking at in terms of company culture is bringing more structure to what we do. We're obviously quite small, we're a startup, but in a year from now we may double in size. So we want to make sure that what we're creating is setting strong foundations that will enable us to scale, but also help us retain our company culture at Ozone API, because it's really something special. I think it's something I've never experienced before in a role. It's really refreshing, and I think that we want to make sure that we are trying to maintain that as we grow. So one thing that we are about to introduce is a more structured performance management system, where we don't want to be too corporate, but we also don't want to have nothing. So we want to find a happy medium.